Hello, Internet, and welcome to the 178th episode of the Voluntary Viewing Podcast, recorded on April 4th, 2022. On the podcast today, we have the ultimate American, Ryan Holtz.
Oh, man. I hate that term. I resent that title.
No, yeah, the ultimate American would. That's what makes you American. Hating America, kinda. Yeah.
It's the ultimate American, like in our perspective. It's like an anarcho-socialist, mixed
an
race,
anarcho-socialist idea of an ultimate American. I feel like an anarcho-socialist idea of the ultimate American would definitely have multiple shotguns and cowboy hats and eat exclusively burgers and yell racial slurs out their truck. Yeah.
Although
that's not what an anarcho-socialist is.
That's what an anarcho-socialist would think of an American.
Well, I'm going to push back a little bit. I think anarcho-socialists are down with guns now. Like, that went full horseshoe, actually.
I'm just saying that's what I think a very, very hard-leaning left person would think of America.
No, okay. Ryan, you're missing. You're not understanding what I'm saying here. I'm not saying what an anarcho-socialist would think the most American person is. I'm saying the ideal American to an anarcho-socialist. What their perfect version of an American citizen should be.
Yeah, but Lucas did say the most American, not the ideal American.
He said the perfect American.
The ultimate American.
The ultimate. There you go.
Okay.
So not,
you know what?
Not most or perfect.
All I'm saying is that if all of America got into one all-out battle royale, Ryan would be the last one standing, the ultimate American.
I am the peak American. I am Captain America.
The final American.
Yeah, no, winning in a battle royale, I don't think the best American would survive a battle royale. I think it'd be probably one of the worst, I imagine. Would be the last one standing.
The last one standing would be a billionaire who hired a private army.
And then killed them all one by one, sneakily, so that they wouldn't turn on him, like by poisoning only one of their food at a time, so that they wouldn't get suspicious.
No, he just put chips in their brain that blow up at the end. Like, look, guys, you did it. You have millions of dollars on the way right now. All you have to do is scan your face into your phone. Boom.
He tweets out an activation code now that he owns 10% of the company, and that just triggers it. Yeah.
There you go.
This obtusification is, fading. Also on the podcast today, now that hell, Reed, Wisconsin, has frozen over. He is here. Andrew Clark.
Woo! The snow has melted. Long live the snow. It's probably going to snow again in like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah. I think we had this discussion a few weeks ago, and I was just like, oh, yeah, you got a nice Indian summer going. You're like, nah, I think we're good. No. And I'm like, have you never lived through Wisconsin
every goddamn year? Every fucking year. Because I went through my phone, my scroll, and I found a video from April 21st of last year of it snowing. And it was a video that I sent to you guys with, fuck my life, some shit like that. I do that every time it snows after, the middle of March. Which, is like half a dozen times every year.
No, it's great. It literally does every year. It's fun.
I respect that you're still hopeful, honestly,
Same reason daylight savings time stuck around this long. Everyone fucking hates it, but it's just every year
the way things are.
They get reminded that they hate it, and then forget about it after a couple of months, and they're like, "Yeah, it's great now. Who cares?" So
I don't want to get super into it. I guess yes, on some level, I am in favor of that U.S. legislation going through. However, I'm a little concerned. That lawmakers are now in possession of the power to control time. That seems a little Yeah, that seems like a little bit of a reach to me personally, but okay.
Daylight savings time was instituted by politicians.
Wait, that wasn't like a natural phenomenon.
Yeah, it's not natural.
Time is made up, even more so than money.
Away from politicians in theory. They're making it make more sense by removing daylight savings time. That's more natural.
Yeah, some people went too far. Now other people are going too far to correct that too far.
Wait, you want half daylight savings time? You want it to only go a half hour in the future? There's no in between. There's no
Lucas.
No, that's how it would play.
Like slowly change in increments over time. So daylight savings time starts, and 6 months later, daylight savings time ends. But in that period of time, it's not like, 8 o'clock every morning. The time that would be 8 o'clock yesterday is now like 8 and like 34 seconds. And that just increases every single day until it's just suddenly 9 o'clock.
No, what I'm saying is that we only have daylight savings times Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from now on. Then Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, it's like not. And then, they switch every other Sunday, obviously.
Yeah, no, it's a split custody thing.
Yeah.
They see who keeps the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, here we're going to be experiencing 98-degree weather this week. So.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, no, it's going to get dangerous up in here in April.
Damn.
So, yeah.
And then last on the podcast is me, Lucas the writer. I am a man who thought he had a pretty firm grasp of Halo lore. And then in the course of people talking about the new Paramount Plus show, I learned that in addition to being his virtual waifu and virtual daughter, Cortana is kinda Master Chief's mom. That's weird.
He's just his computer assistant, and then you ascribe whatever the viewer wants onto that assistant.
So, first off, I'm
have
pretty
you
sure
ever played Halo, Lucas?
No, I was going to say, have you ever played a Halo game?
No.
Why would you have a firm grasp of Halo lore?
Osmosis.
Osmosis does not give you a firm grasp of the lore.
The lore that you get from Halo, or that you get through Osmosis of Halo is, the sniper rifle's really nerfed in this one.
The Halo 1 pistol is God.
Yeah.
But
also, Cortana is just a hologram waifu that gamers like. So it can be whatever the gamers want it to be. And to Master Chief, it's just someone important that gives him orders. And he cares about her, kind of.
But then it went crazy, which is a thing all AI do, like every 7 years in this universe. And then that was just kind of swept under the rug. And you got a new, younger Cortana. It's not sketchy. That's not sketchy at all, John Halo.
Cortana wouldn't do.
John Halo.
Yeah.
His name is John, right?
Yeah, it is John.
Yeah.
I think it's canonically John.
Yeah.
So it could be John Halo.
Yeah.
His last name is like a serial number. I'm pretty
117, right? Or some shit
I think
like
so,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, it's John 117. So basically John Halo. Like.
Yeah.
I'm John Manhunter.
All right. So can you.
I'm Donovan McNabb, and so can you, with a hearty breakfast from McDonald's.
I think that's Jonathan McNabb, dude. I think that's just a guy. All right, fuck it. We gotta keep this one tight. We're going into news of the week. Sony PlayStation, a company currently embattled in gender discrimination lawsuits, announced its new game subscription service. Will it kill Game Pass?
With that setup, I thought Sony made it in.
I'm sorry, I have to do it for the companies I am a reluctant stan of as well, just so I can be fair to everyone.
What does Sony do to earn your stanhood? Like, what?
Yeah, wait, what?
Literally, what do they do good as a company? They're just a company. Like
They published the Metal Gear Solid games.
They published
them.
Yeah,
they didn't make them.
I very much enjoyed the Demon Souls remake, which they funded.
Didn't make. I don't.
Yeah, just
if they didn't, someone else.
They're
would've.
a cash cow.
They're a non-spectacular company. They do whatever.
Unintentionally, they've made people realize that Jared Leto, on top of being a terrible person, probably not even a good actor.
Wait, Sony did that? Everyone already knew that.
What?
Well, they made the Morbius.
Isn't that an MCU movie?
No, it's a Sony movie.
Really? I thought it was
Yeah.
MCU.
Oh shit! Of, like the Spider-Man shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how they get you.
Mm-hmm.
That's how Sony's cashing in on Disney's giant movie property.
What if we make an entire movie franchise that relies on tricking people into thinking it's a different movie franchise before they get to the theater?
Yeah, a bunch of subliminal messaging in the next Justice League movie to make you think that it's an Avengers movie.
Yeah, DC could have gone that route. They could have just been another Marvel, but with recognizable characters.
Yeah.
Would have been a bold move.
Even bolder to make bad movies that don't make them a whole lot of money.
And
they made plenty.
Yeah.
And now they've, I feel like, kind of found a niche here of just gritty. Make them weird and dark, and then sometimes make a funny one when you hire a Marvel cast off.
Listen, man, when you have the Scooby-Doo live-action movies under your belt, you're gonna bring some kind of levity to the project.
When you've got Harry Potter and Game of Thrones. Fucking Warner Brothers.
Fucking
Space Jam 2 is a legendary property just in like exposing how fucked Warner Brothers library is. Like just the weird
There's
shit
no
that they get
cohesion
up to at Warner
there.
Brothers. Yeah.
Okay, this is a full-on tangent, but fine, I'm here for it this episode. Isn't the new Harry Potter movie not even going to make its budget back?
I don't know. Maybe.
Has it come out yet?
I mean,
No, yeah,
it's home.
Yeah, it's out. It's been out for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, the Dumbledore movie's been out for a little bit. The home sales could put it over the line. Who knows? But it's definitely not doing well.
Do you think they'll count it towards the home sales of the inevitable? I mean, how many movies would that be? 11 movie box set of like all the Harry Potter movies, and then now the Fantastic Beasts movies of like get all the movies in one giant fucking box for $240.
So like apparently they have 2 more of these Fantastic Beasts movies on the books. Why would you buy that when supposedly they're making 2 more movies? I know people do, but why?
You say that. I grew up living with, as my sibling, a huge Harry Potter fan that did buy a Harry Potter like movie box set after like the 4th movie came out.
When the other books were written, there was an end to the story in sight.
Yeah.
I mean, they should release a box set with like a little empty space for the remaining movies and just be like, we'll do right by you. You come in and buy the cases. They'll look like these other ones, and they'll fit in this blank spot, nice and neat. It'd be great.
Just save the receipt. That's all you need.
Yeah,
you're good to go.
Like I have all the Song of Ice and Fire hardcovers that have come out so far, and I'm sure when they, in theory, release Winds of Winter, it'll look similar to the first 5 books. But yeah, if they take like a hard left turn on the cover design, I'm gonna feel a little let down. What the fuck, man? I assumed that this set would look nice at the end of it all, but that's if a book even comes out, so I suppose.
I don't know, man. I think George R.R. Martin's priorities are correct. Him blogging about how the Jets' revolutionary defense helped inspire Thea, the deathbed companion in Elden Ring. That's time well spent.
I think that's all you can ask for, really.
What a fucking loser.
write yourself into a corner with your book series, have it adapted, make millions and millions and millions of dollars, have the people who adapted it fuck up everything, putting
so
even
low.
more pressure on you. Well,
I did.
his version is now the version.
That's fair.
No one will reference the show.
I get all right.
Ever now. How he ends things will be the definitive. No one will ever fix it. No one will ever do better. This is it. And he is deep in a corner. Like when you find where he left off in the story and then see where the show went from there, it is like, whoa, he's got work cut out for him. Like there's a reason it's been so long since the last book.
I don't know. This is why I am only a fan of tightly produced franchises that always come out on time. What's this next news item, Andrew? I haven't read it yet.
In a move that will shock literally no one except for maybe podcast enthusiast Lucas DeRuyter, Breath of the Wild 2 has been delayed into 2023.
Oh no, that's egg on my face. Walked right into that one.
I am shocked and appalled that Nintendo would do such a thing. This game has been delayed.
No, but we got like 6 seconds of new gameplay footage out of the announcement. That was totally worth it.
Not gameplay footage.
Hell yeah. Is it like Elder Scrolls 6? Just a camera fly through a weird little landscape? That's it?
No, Link phased through like a floor and you got a new shot of his fucked up arm. It was great.
And the Master Sword is cut in half.
What happened there?
They're doing New Game Plus... Or what, New Game Minus, I guess?
Yeah.
Like what I talked about with you, Andrew, and the new Horizon game, where it's like, so you're like God at the end of the first one. How do they like fuck you up so that now you need to be back to shitty
and like
start over?
I told you, like they had a story explanation as to why that happened. You just didn't like it, and that's fair. It is fair to be like, oh, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Can I take a guess?
I mean,
Can I take a guess at what the explanation is?
What?
Okay, I'm guessing her migrating from one area to the West Coast is like, you have to sign on to a different server now, and that resets a bunch of stuff.
Oh, man. No.
I thought you were going with like her journey to the West is what. Oh,
it
she
was
had to
really
use all of
hard
her resources.
Okay.
It was off camera.
Yeah.
You don't play in that.
You know, I mean, like the game starts out basically with like a 2 or 3 minute like smash cut of Aloy making her way through the land and getting like fucked up in the process.
Wow.
And like, yeah, like the idea is that all of her gear slowly is breaking because she's pushing herself to her limits and all that. That being said, yeah, you are God at the end of Horizon Zero Dawn, and none of this shit should be a problem for you.
I feel like in other RPGs, yeah, they just don't go to those extremes. Like you end the previous game strong. Like it's like you got end game material and then you start the next game like with a good amount of stuff. You know, like I'm thinking of like Last of Us. Like you end the first game with like an AR, like an automatic rifle, and then you start the next game and you've got like your basic guns. That would make more sense because it's like you need to be sustainable when you're in a post-apocalyptic world. So you're probably not shooting an automatic rifle all the time. Maybe you still have it, but why would you take that with you when you're trying to preserve resources? Like, it kind of makes sense. Or like Assassin's Creed, like, yeah, you end the game and you probably have some powerful armor and stuff like that. And you start the next game with most of your stuff. It's just not as good. And then you get even more. Like, but yeah, now they're like, we got to find a way to hard reset because we really went all out in this end game for Horizon Zero Dawn.
Listen, man, I can't go this hard all the time, okay? It's just not fair. I went back to the starting area. Like, do you have any idea what this is doing to, like, fucking the rabbits I was killing over there?
Yeah.
No, not appropriate.
Those level 4 Pidgeys didn't stand a fucking chance against my Elite 4 winning squad of 6 super Pokemon.
Yeah. And I may have exaggerated how strong I was at the end of Horizon Zero Dawn compared to the shit that I was fighting, It was then when I started New Game Plus and we're fighting the low-level enemies that, yeah, they just don't stand a chance.
They get melted.
Yeah.
It's fucking great.
But yeah, no, I don't think anyone thought Breath of the Wild was actually coming out in 2022, even though they said that, but yeah. 2023 is sounding a little more reasonable, and plenty of other Nintendo games to hold me over in the interim.
Maybe it comes out in 2023, we don't know. Breath of the Wild took like 9 years to make.
Yeah, but that's Zelda games at this point.
This is a Zelda game.
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild 2 will be a Zelda game.
Right.
What's Zelda gonna do in Breath of the Wild 2?
No, she falls
into that at all?
She falls into a chasm, and Link has to rescue her.
Link, you've got to go on a
I'm not being
long
facetious.
journey to get a rope.
Wait, I haven't seen this. Are you serious?
No, yeah, in the trailer, Zelda is falling into a chasm, and some people are maybe pursuing false hope and thinking, no, it'll be a split game where you're like Link in the surface world and doing stuff as Zelda in the underground and finally playing as... No.
I was like, are Japanese companies just fucking immune to like all the criticism that American companies face with this bullshit? We're really gonna have Zelda just be like Daphne from Scooby-Doo, like always in trouble, and Link has to come to her rescue every time? Like,
man,
what the fuck, man?
They finally had voice acting in a Zelda game in Breath of the Wild, and they made Zelda sound like this. I'm Zelda.
That sounds like Bjork.
Save me, Link.
The blood moon rises once again.
It's fucking ridiculous.
It's more insulting because she's supposed to be like really powerful.
Oh yeah, she is God on Earth in this universe.
Right.
Yeah.
She's in the Breath of the Wild especially. She's like the most powerful being on the planet. It's like so the fact that she's like constantly needing
so
rescue.
powerful that she has to fight the evil one-on-one so that Link has to go then help her out and rescue her.
And then she falls into a chasm. Her powers could not prevent her.
Her powers of having
falling into a chasm.
leggings and an iPad didn't save her.
Her leggings powers.
Oh.
I don't know. Like I see Lucas's headlines of, oh man, these companies that, they got Call of Duty's got such a spotty record with representation. And it's just like, what the fuck? These Japanese companies could just make narratives from the 70s and no one bats an eye? Like some of those beloved game franchises of all time?
No, and I mean, I think that is a part of it, though. Like, Zelda has been coming out since, like, not quite, but basically the 70s. So it's, oh yeah, this is the formula baked in. It's like, that's not an actual excuse.
You can update it.
Yeah.
You can.
These people have been making games for a long time. They've witnessed every other video game coming out. It's not like Nintendo has never played a Microsoft or a Sony game.
Nintendo is like those like weird YouTubers that are like, yeah, I don't really watch YouTube. I feel like that would affect my content, you know? Like I kind of want to just do me, like have blinders on to the rest of the world. I just replay fucking Super Mario Brothers 3 and get new ideas.
Speaking of video games, E3 2022 is dead.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's gone. It's all over. It's all ogre now.
All right, so fucking watch out for Jeff Keighley. He's about to become too powerful.
Is that what he was doing? Did he like join E3? I thought
he started an E3 competitor, Summer Games Fest, which was basically like E3 but with more Let's Plays, I guess. And now
it's the only thing around during that time. Isn't there still like PAX and all that? And then like, you know, the big three gaming companies still do their own big conventions?
I don't know if Sony or Microsoft do gaming conventions. I'm confident Nintendo is still going to do a direct, like a half-hour-long direct in June, but that's about it. Like, honestly, that's enough for me. That's fine.
Directs are just like Sony states of play.
Okay, hold on. They're
the exact same.
Let's get the order of operations correct, though. Okay,
Look,
states of play
fine,
are like Nintendo Directs.
Fine.
Hold everything.
Yeah. Okay,
Andrew,
fine.
this is your Pop-Tarts and toaster strudels. Like, you just stumbled into a trap, my friend. You better watch yourself, because these next words are going to be used against you for the next half hour. Whatever you're about to say is going to be on the record, and every little word will be nitpicked to death.
No, except here's the thing. This is not like my Pop-Tarts and toaster strudels, because my Pop-Tarts and toaster strudels was Pop-Tarts and toaster strudels.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is for you what Pop-Tarts and toaster strudels was for me, where I'm like, yeah, they're pretty similar. And then you were like, what? And then the next half hour is a debate where we really get into the granular details, and every word is crucially analyzed.
Okay,
States of play and direct.
Before we move on with this, I wanna put down a claim. I wanna stake a claim right now.
Okay.
At my bachelor party, we're both getting blackout drunk and having this debate again.
Oh my god.
This is what you want to do. No strippers.
Nope.
No cocaine.
Nope.
No, I don't know, whatever. What do people do? Bachelor parties seem cringy as fuck.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I don't want to do any of that shit.
Bar crawls, gambling. Apparently, I, as the best man, now have to set up like a blind toaster strudel versus Pop-Tart taste test. I don't know.
You'll be able to tell the difference because
Probably.
they are different. They're two different products. I've always said this. They are similar. Anyway, before we do a precursor to Andrew's bachelor party.
Yeah.
State of Play and Nintendo Direct, same thing, right, Andrew?
Okay, Lucas is right in the fact that Nintendo Direct definitely came first. It was an established thing, and Sony's State of Play definitely just took that formula and did the exact same thing, but with Sony games. That being said, like they're basically identical, right?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
State of plays tend to be much worse, but yeah. Yeah, it's like fucking. Oh, okay. Wow, I'm trying to think of like an off-brand versus. I don't know brands very well. I'm sorry. I'm fucked. I fucked it up. I can take the metaphor home.
Yeah, I don't know any of this shit well.
Yeah.
What's the Microsoft version?
I don't know.
I don't think they have one. I think they were banking on this, actually. They might have to figure something out. They got Jeff Keighley on the phone now.
Get Jeff Keighley on the horn. We gotta talk to him about how we're gonna fucking take over all of video games. You belong to us.
And then the last bit of gaming news. One of IGN's senior editors shared a freelancer job listing that paid $20 an article. I've written for much smaller outlets that pay much more.
$20 fucking dollars.
On an IGN article, I feel like I'm not a writer.
Right.
I feel like if you're serious about it and you're going to make an actual quality article, minimum 10 hours of work. Am I wrong about that? Like, is that
right?
More or less in the range of how much you'd spend on an article?
Yeah, $2 an hour. That's a living wage.
Saying. That's fucked, man.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe you can shit something out in an hour that they'll actually publish, but still, like,
even then, like, you're freelancing, so unless they say, okay, you're gonna write 8 articles today, like, come on.
So specifically, this is for aggregate news, which is, hey, fucking Nintendo just made an announcement, copy paste their blog post and like change it up a little bit so we don't get like a plagiarism strike. But even that requires skill and time and effort, and this is fucking IGN, the biggest video game website, arguably. They can pay people more than this. Indie outlets pay people more than this.
Yeah, how does... They said... She went on to clarify $50 for slightly more involved stories, $300 and up for in-depth multi-source reporting.
Okay.
Even $300 for like an actual in-depth quality article seems
because that
real low.
Yeah, if you're quantifying that this is qualifying that this is an in-depth article, that means it's investigative. Like you are talking to people. You have to get sources and shit. You aren't just going online, seeing what the discourse is, and then saying, Twitter user at Big Dick Zelda said this looks whack. Like, yeah, like how the fuck are you going to say that's worth $300? It's definitely.
I mean, we all want to see the back end. Mm-hmm. We all want to see. So how much engagement does this article? What does IGN make off this article? Because I would imagine people are gonna. Yeah, I imagine people are gonna realize quickly why this is exploitative. Like if you're, especially for the like news aggregation, sure, it might not take much to put together, but I imagine those are amongst IGN's most lucrative articles. Yeah. Like those are the ones that are getting the clicks and driving the engagement.
So something in this vein would be, ironically, the announcement that like Breath of the Wild 2 has been delayed a year. Like even that article, even that like, yep, here is a 2-paragraph write-up, and then the Nintendo video where Shigeru Miyamoto announces this. It's like, cool. Okay, that article is going to have like a G Fuel pop-in ad. It's going to have a U.S. Army recruitment thing in the left bar. It's going to have... I haven't been on IGN in a while, but like I imagine like a dozen links to like obvious clickbait shit at the bottom. Like, yeah.
Does IGN have a built-in web player, or do they just embed YouTube videos?
I think it depends on the
web player.
Because if it's a built-in web player, then they have a pre-roll video ad for sure as well. Like,
and I mean, it's IGN's video player is famous for how shitty it is.
All built-in players are way shittier than just embedding YouTube. Like, use Google's fucking $1 trillion infrastructure, you idiots. Like, you're not gonna beat it. I'm sorry. Every time I see a built-in web player, like ESPN, oh my fucking, like, stop. Like, you are awful. Like, this thing sucks. And your pre-roll ads that you're getting paid for are sometimes longer than the content that you're playing.
Yeah.
So yeah, not giving any hate to the writers at IGN, but boy does the business side of that seem to be underpaying people by quite a lot here. Moving on to TV. Attack on Titan, the final season, part 3, has been announced. I am the Joker. This is what Joker-fied me.
It's the Dr. Manhattan sitting on Mars. It is June 2017. I am watching the final season of Attack on Titan. It is May 2021. I am watching the final season of Attack on Titan. It is April 2023. I am watching the final season of Attack on Titan.
I'm so fucking tired.
Have they ever announced anything as like a series finale, or have they always left it pretty open-ended at the end of all these parts?
I guess, yeah, they've left it open-ended. Like, the manga is done, we know what the definitive endpoint is, and it's like, it's kind of like Zeno's paradox, where the closer they get to it, the slower they start moving.
They're doing like calculus when they're approaching the limit.
Yeah.
They're only going halfway to the end every single season.
So they will never get there.
No.
Right. Eventually, like the final season will happen in real time. Like every second of airtime is a second of real. Well, no, because it's anime.
Yeah.
So you get where
internal
like, a
monologues.
second of real time can be like a 100th of a second of showtime. Like just get it with someone's monologue as a bullet is like moving in midair in remarkably slow motion.
Look, I saw the first season of Attack on Titan when I was in high school, and there is a full episode that takes place within the course of, I think, like 5 minutes, but the episode is 20 minutes long. Because it is people just standing and staring at each other and then their internal monologues. They could do that for a whole season.
I think I saw a tweet. Somebody did the math, and if part 3 of the final season has a full 12 episodes, then Attack on Titan will have run for 99 episodes. 40 of them will have been the final season.
Oh my god.
That's one way to drum up support.
Fucking God.
This is what Joker-fied you.
Yep.
We live in a fucking society. You're just gonna let this go.
I did see on like a YouTube video ad that the final season of The Walking Dead Part 3 starts soon. That they broke the final season of The Walking Dead into 3 parts. I don't know how long any of them are, and I think the breaks in between the parts are relatively short. It's not like this situation. So
the only thing I can say about whatever The Walking Dead is now is that my mom no longer likes it and only begrudgingly watches it out of the sunk cost fallacy. And if that isn't the biggest condemnation I can give something, I don't know what is.
I hate this, but I have to watch it because I was stupid enough to watch the first 10 seasons.
Yep.
Yeah.
But take that and then multiply that by my mother. Like, that is where she's at with this.
All right, so take this by a factor of my mom.
Yeah.
By a factor of M. M, of course, representing my mother.
Right.
Yeah, now figure out the coefficient. Yeah, Lucas's mother represents approximately 0.0243.
Yeah. Pi mom squared.
Pi mom squared.
All right, moving on into film. Maybe we missed the boat with this one. I don't know. But a minute before winning Best Actor for his performance in King Richard, Will Smith slapped Chris Rock after Rock made a joke about Smith's wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, being bald. Jada Smith has alopecia.
Man,
we don't need any more takes.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about this.
Okay.
So many takes.
Every conceivable take was made within 24 hours of the slap. Mm-hmm. And then the discourse continued for like 5 more days.
Repeating the same shit.
Yeah.
I mean, and when I say every conceivable take, I mean, it was basically an ad-lib machine. It was Will Smith is indicative of a post-Putin America. I saw that shit.
And now this, what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
Is the latest iteration of the discourse
surrounding
just
talking about how dumb the discourse is.
Yeah. So what we're doing is the next stage of the discourse is talking about how now only people talk about how dumb the discourse is. Mm-hmm. So
eventually we will get back to just talking about it.
Fuck.
It's dumb.
Yeah.
It's dumb.
It's a thing that happened.
Dumb.
We all saw
it's going on. It's what Russia is doing in Ukraine has recently been tantamount to genocide.
Yeah.
When you look at the crimes in what is it, Bukhar? What's
Bukhar? Yes.
The province. Yeah, and this is what America is focused on.
No,
2 rich people having a disagreement.
I guess, that is the only point I will make on this. People looking to extrapolate this out into anything. Please remember that these are 2 obscenely wealthy men who are just living in a world that most people are not. And also, one party involved is kind of low-key in a cult, and I don't think their actions can be extrapolated out to more people other than people who are low-key in a cult. So, there we go. That's it.
Yeah,
please stop talking about it. I'm begging you.
No, Andrew, I really want to get into the fallout of the fallout. Can we?
Just here's a video goes black. You just hear a gunshot.
How many?
This is what turned him into the Joker.
How many joules of force do you think the slap was?
Okay, let's go this route. Have y'all ever been slapped?
Yeah.
Like a lot, right?
Yeah.
Like middle school, high school, I got slapped a lot.
Right.
I don't think I ever quite took a look at that until this happened.
Oh, fair.
I was definitely getting slapped like more than I probably should have been when I was in middle school and high school. Like I probably got slapped, I don't know, what, 20, 30 times?
No, I was not slapped that much, son.
Yeah,
I was slapped like half a dozen times.
I feel like I got slapped more than the average. I think once one person starts to slap, it just becomes a thing that's chill. I don't know, man. It's fucked up.
Yeah.
Kids, man.
We're violent. And in some ways more honest. But also more violent.
Teenagers scare the living shit out of me.
That's a great cover, Andrew. Full length cover when? What's the Patreon goal? To get Andrew to do a full cover of Teenagers by Bowling for Soup.
It's
Ryan.
Come on, man.
Ryan.
I don't even like this band, and I know it's not Bowling for Soup.
How do you not like My Chemical Romance? Does
It's My
Jade
Chemical
know this?
Romance.
You are going to marry her.
Yeah, she knows this.
I conflated High School Never Ends with Teenagers. That is my fault. It is My Chemical Romance.
We're getting a lot of good titles for this episode, I will say, halfway through it.
Teenagers by Bowling for Soup. That's a good... Anyway.
All right. Don't have to go super far into this one, but in an update to a previous story, please tell me Galco-chan author Kenya Suzuki has been convicted of child pornography charges and sentenced to 1 year and 2 months in prison with a 3-year suspended sentence. I will...
That doesn't seem like a lot.
Yeah, wait, what?
No.
That seems like very little.
Yeah. And then I will further call out this Anime News Network article a little bit, because while it does note that on Comic Walker, the Japanese service that published his work, well, they did suspend it after this came to light. Bookwalker, their international version of the service, did not. They did not remove any of his work and continued to profit from it through there, which I think is kind of atrocious. Maybe there's some legal obligations that prevent that from happening, but that seems like something that should be called out in an article, that they're still making some kind of money from this. So, yeah.
I mean, yeah, this... You've used this website in the past. It's so sketchy, man.
Ryan.
It looks like the Fox News of anime.
Ryan, this is all we fucking got.
No, it's not.
No.
For anime news?
You've linked Kotaku and shit before.
That's a rarity, man.
Maybe there's a reason.
Yeah.
Look.
Maybe you fucking deserve it, you wee piece of trash. You don't deserve to have news.
Well, no. Okay, that's not what I'm saying. It's not what I'm saying, but it's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is maybe there's a reason why more legitimate outlets don't want to report on this shit. Possibly
You create
because
a legitimate outlet.
a sizable portion of the creators are child pornographers.
Jesus Christ. What a take. You create an outlet. Yeah, sure, CNN probably isn't going to ever have an anime division, but, that's not what they do. There wasn't any gaming outlets until they created gaming news-focused outlets. Someone has to do better than Anime News Network, which literally has a, fucking... It looks like Fox News. I don't know. It looks like Fox News or One American News of anime. And I don't know. Feels like they're going to have some real bad takes if I dive into some of these articles.
I'm mutuals with a couple of the writers on there, so I don't want to say anything bad about the quality of the writing on there outside of me calling out some journalistic stuff.
I'm looking at the overall outlet, what it appears from an outsider's perspective.
I think everyone will admit that Anime News Network is a 2007 ass looking website. Nobody's going to deny that.
Also, the sub-headline is he was charged for importing child pornography from Germany. He lives in Japan. Like, there's no way that there wasn't any... like, once again, not to go all Andrew on you, but, like, come on, man. There's got to be some in Japan, I imagine. That's not good enough for this guy. He's advanced.
I read a little bit further into this article, and the quote from the police was, he stated to the police that he desperately wanted to acquire nude photos of foreign children that cannot be acquired in Japan.
Yeah, this guy's like an advanced predator.
Yeah.
Yikes.
He's like, the kind of shit that I want, you can't get it here. My God.
1 year. 1 year in jail. Oh boy.
Fuck.
Yikers.
Yeah, don't support his work. Anybody listening to this. Maybe tell platforms that still host it not to either. I don't know.
Is it like popular? Is this like a...
It was popular enough to get an anime a couple years back, which is kind of... Okay, yeah, this is making it. This is successful.
It's doing something.
Yeah.
Oh shit, this doing numbers.
Oh shit.
Oh shit, this manga doing numbers. I mean, I'm looking at the cover, and I feel like anything with that cover is gonna do okay. I don't want to be stereotypical, but I think that's the clickbait of the manga world.
You're not wrong.
There you go.
You have a skeevy enough cover, even a lack of, let's say, elementary writing skills will get you kind of far.
Do you all remember before YouTube had custom thumbnails and people figured out the exact point that the YouTube video takes the thumbnail to put on the video and would put for one frame a scantily clad woman or something, and then the rest of the video would literally have nothing to do with that one frame, and those videos would have like 30 million views.
Your pause game better be on point.
It's a picture. It's not even a video. Like, it's so fucked. We are just monkeys. We're just dumbass monkeys.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Okay, I know we just went through saying how we didn't want to talk about it anymore, but moving on into the meme corner.
We don't have to talk about it. Have y'all seen... I have a meme. Have y'all seen these brands on fucking TikTok, like, doing the same trend of having that leather suit Shrek dance over whatever company they work for?
Yeah.
Why is that my TikTok? They're just like... It's like fucking Taco John's, and then it's like when the Taco John's CEO lets you post whatever you want to the company TikTok.
Yep.
And then it's all like, by any means necessary, get engagement, and then it's them looking up, and then it cuts to Taco John's, and above Taco John's is this like sexy leather suit Shrek dancing as it sings Material
Girl. What the hell are you talking about?
No.
I know it's not just me because they are always viral, and I'm always
not
like
on TikTok, so I'm not saying if I was on TikTok, maybe I would be seeing this. I don't know, but I have no idea.
I was like, the first time I saw it, I was like, haha, that intern went fucking wild. That's fun. And then every brand did it, and it was like, how the second one, it's like, this is fake. This brand is hopping on a trend to get engagement and more brand identity. Like, what? How are you liking this, people?
So, Andrew, and potentially listeners, the easiest way I can describe this is that on top of TikTok having just like 15-second cuts of standard, let's go Taco John ads, they will also manufacture and produce situations where they're making it seem as though, this is just Taco John employees, like, having a good time. Like, this is a great place with quality food. You should check it out. And look at them getting in on this wacky trend. But it is the most dishonest and manipulative shit on the platform. And it's fucked up.
They hire a legitimately TikTok fluent rando from some college who then puts themselves in the video. That's important.
Yep.
There's always got to be like a young early 20-something in the video as the quote-unquote social media person, even though we all know, like, large brands, like, are not hiring people straight out of college to run their social medias anymore. Like, that is by committee. That is probably a department within the corporation. Like, but there's always a face that's like someone who looks like the user who's like, they let me go crazy with this one. And then some fucked shit. So that it's like, the more aggressively weird it is and off-brand it is, the more likely it is to go viral. And then, probably a combination of like astroturfing, like buying ad placements in people's feeds, and also then genuinely them taking off because people are fucking dumb.
Yep.
And they think it's fun. Like, they do think they fall for it. Basically, they bite the onion. They're like, yes, this is so good.
God, I have no idea what the buying engagement economy is like on TikTok. I imagine frighteningly low, but yeah.
I don't know. The first time I saw it, I was like, haha, that brand fucked up. Because it was a small enough brand that it was somewhat believable that, like, maybe they did just let someone do crazy shit. And maybe they did. Maybe the very first one on the trend actually did fuck up and the CEO let them have a little bit too much free reign. And then they woke up the next morning and were like, what the fuck did you do? Why is this our most viewed video? Oh shit, our sales are up 20%. Never mind, keep doing whatever you're doing. Like, yeah.
Why does this say you're going bing bong mode at Taco John's? What does that even mean? And why do people like it?
That is the funny part. Having been in some of those meetings, hearing executives quote verbatim things that are not PC. It's like someone saying something in another language and they don't realize just how bad that would be if they said it in English in a legitimate business meeting. Like, it's pretty great. It is hard to stifle a laugh, and I have on more than one occasion turned off my Zoom camera for a brief period to collect myself. But yeah, that's the thing that I've noticed, that I've been like, what? God, we're fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Silence brand.
Oof. All right, and speaking of silence, there's going to be a little bit of silence as we head into the other call and move into the breakouts. Okay, I might have jinxed it. Do you guys, like, hear that on your end, too?
Hear what?
No.
There's a weird sound in the background. I'm not totally wait, hold on. I think that's the sound.
Oh my god.
Of Lucas's anime corner.
No. It's April.
You fucking got us.
It's fucking Q2.
Okay, there we go.
Oh no. We gotta keep this under an hour and a half. This is gonna be the next half hour, alright.
It's quick. There was not a lot this quarter.
This was last quarter too. You said the same thing. And I think Andrew pointed out that you said that the quarter before that. Has there ever been a good anime quarter?
I might be becoming disillusioned. I don't know. But Chainsaw Man's going to come out eventually, and that'll be fun for me. That'll be fun.
Right, it'll be a good
time as Breath of the Wild.
Okay, I watched 2 anime to completion in the first quarter of 2022. One of them was Miss Koritsu from the Monster Development Department, which is basically The Office, but if it was at a Power Rangers-esque evil organization. I very much enjoyed this. This was validating as a young professional who's had to deal with a lot of frustrating situations over the course of my career already. The moment that resonated with me the most was when the Monster Development Department creates plans for a giant mech warrior, codenamed Thunderbird, that's going to barge into battle, railguns a-blazing, just wrecking shit. And then over the course of talking to other departments in their company, being forced to compromise and change and meet their demands and budget restrictions to the point where that monster just becomes a chicken with a gun. And that was very, yeah, that was a been there moment. Also, man, this show is mining maybe a few too many jokes from gender, and also it ended with a whole extended bit where the good guys and bad guys rally together to keep this company from being bought out by an explicitly non-Asian company. And it's like, I don't know enough about Japanese business to be like, man, is this xenophobic? Because, like, if I were to get something, like, in the office about how we gotta figure out how to make it so the company isn't bought out by Chinese investors, I'd be like, that's a fucked up thing to have in there. Yeah. And then the other anime I watched was My Dress Up Darling, which features a shy young man and an energetic young woman quickly forming a bond when they realize his artistic pursuits can help her pursue her cosplay passion.
It's a Manic Pixie Dream Girl?
Manic Pixie nerd, but yeah.
That's the same thing.
Yeah, I think that's the point of the Dream Girl part, right? Is that she likes other things. She's somewhat, in some way, damaged so that she would actually be interested in me.
She's not like other girls.
I think that's part of the Manic Pixie Dream Girl. She cannot be a perfect 10 out of 10 who would like any guy. She has to be a little not perfect so that she'd be interested in you.
This is where my first criticism of the show comes in. It goes out of its way to say that the main character in this, like, does not have any pull whatsoever. I don't believe that. I don't believe that for a second. This dude is like a 5, 10, 15-year-old. He's going to clear 6 feet by the time he graduates, easy. Like, really into his hobbies, classically handsome. Like, nah.
How do you know his height?
No, they make a point of that. That's a plot point.
They make a plot point that he's 5'10".
Yeah.
And that's not 5'10", it's centimeters, I'm assuming.
I think it was like 180 centimeters or something. I think that's like 5'10". Yeah.
They give it to the fucking centimeter.
Yes. Well, that's metric system, I guess.
No, I know, but it's weird. Like,
a little bit.
That's a plot point.
Yeah.
And that, they didn't make him shorter than that if you were going to make it a big plot point. It's like that movie Tall Girl on Netflix where she's like 5'8". And it's like,
what?
She's nearly tall enough
in
to
Tall
be,
Girl?
I don't think she's 5'8", but she's not tall enough to make a movie about her.
I mean, well, no, unless she is 8 feet tall, she's not tall enough to make a movie about her.
If a girl's like 6'6", I could see how she has like a particularly rough time. Yeah, she's just over 6 feet tall.
6'1".
And they make a whole movie about how, like, your life's so hard because she's so tall.
Okay, hold on. No? Like, this tall girl is still shorter than most tall guys, so I don't see what the issue is here. And also, going back to TikTok, a lot of tall girls seemingly doing great on there. I don't get it.
In my small high school, I had at least 10 girls taller than that. Like, she wouldn't even be notably tall, really.
I refuse to watch that movie. But I do remember in the trailer for that movie, there's something where it's like she's walking sad down the hallway and someone says like, hey, you should try out for the volleyball team. And she gets like really sad. It's just like, hey, you look like you'd be good at this thing that people like. No one understands me.
No, I'm not getting...
I remember there was this guy in my high school that was fucking mungus. Mm-hmm. He was arguably the biggest guy in the whole school. Like he was 6'6", 320.
Yeah.
Like a massive human being. I'm sure he got, why don't you play football a lot? But like, he was chill about it. Yeah. Like he was just like, just don't like sports. Yeah. I was like, not gonna fuck with you. You're huge. You're gigantic. Like, yeah, I assume it's the situation. But yeah, I don't know. Like they made Tall Girl 2, by the way. It got a sequel. It did well enough that they.
Okay, I'm not saying like body dysmorphia isn't a thing that can affect everybody, but I don't. Fucking yeah, okay, yeah. She would have to be 16 in this for this to genuinely be emotionally affecting, because anyone older than that wouldn't be.
Yeah, it would quickly become an annoyance.
Yeah, this is
upon reaching emotional maturity, it'd be like, this is a thing that people bring up that is annoying. It's slightly microaggression-y. But I'm also white and straight, so
and tall.
Maybe I should check my privilege a little bit.
Ugh.
I'm physically imposing.
Also, my dress-up darling, there is a scene where the main girl wants to cosplay as a character with noticeably darker skin tone than what she possesses. And it's uncomfortable and unfortunate that this series presents that without any kind of acknowledgement that this is not great.
Japanese storytellers, and then the cup on the table is blackface. I don't need it. I don't need it.
I need it.
It's not my place to say whether or not this was blackface, but oh my god, was it uncomfortable when it came up.
You don't have to be black to call out something as blackface. You don't have to. You can still be white and say something is racist.
You don't have to be offended by it, but you can at least be like, yo, that's kind of fucked.
No, that is kind of fucked. That's where I'm at, man. Yeah. And then in manga, in One Piece, we just went Super Saiyan, and the series did a retcon, 25 years and 144 chapters in the making. And while some people are pretty cool with it, I'm conflicted. Maybe not every protagonist has to be chosen by destiny. Maybe stories are better when it's just people doing their best and rising to an occasion. I don't know. That's just me.
So he's like the chosen one or something?
I kinda, yeah. His power isn't that he's made out of rubber. His power is that he's the sun god, kind of. I don't know. Fuck you.
Oh man, I am very deeply disappointed that this manga and anime that was always, very, very good is now not anymore.
I mean, it's still good, but I'm like, come on. This is a lazy trope. What?
Nothing.
Oh.
I'm reading ahead.
Okay. In Sakamoto Days, an assassin who's also a movie director showed up, and a Zoomer told him that movies suck and that YouTube videos are better. I appreciated this as somebody who routinely sees discourse about like, are Marvel movies cinema? And then there's just a character out here who's like, I don't give a shit. Movies suck. Movies are dumb. I love it. I love the chaos. And then go for it.
Sorry. I was going to say it makes me depressed because that kid 100% had an iPad when he was 2 years old.
Oh, yeah.
And was watching Spider-Man and Elsa videos.
Yeah.
And never saw like a Pixar movie or like quality entertainment, and is now conditioned to just hate every piece of movies in it. It makes me sad.
Yeah. No, this character sucks. This kid sucks. I love it. Give me more shitty actual teenagers in manga.
No.
And then Super Eye Patch Wolf made a 2-hour video about the Berserk anime and manga. It is very good, and people should watch it. Though, Berserk is better, and they should probably just read or watch that first. Yeah.
There you go.
Legitimate.
Was that it?
That is it. That is the end of Lucas's Q1 2022 anime quarter. Buckle up for June when I surprise people with this again somehow.
I gotta set a calendar reminder.
Yeah, honestly, I can do that, and I might.
All right, I just talked for like 5 interrupted minutes. What's going on with you guys? What are you checking out?
Go for it, Andrew. I'm seeing an item that made my eyes bug out.
A what?
They made my eyes bug out. One of your items that you wanted to talk about.
Okay. Is it Flatch? Welcome to Flatch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened, Andrew? Tell us a tale. Because I'm familiar with this piece of media.
So Jade and I were looking for a new show to start, and we saw commercials for Welcome to Flash, and we kind of thought it seemed interesting. It's made by the same people as Parks and Rec, right? Or did I make that up? No? Oh, I thought I saw like from the director of Parks and Rec or some shit.
Director is nothing in TV. A TV director is on usually for like one episode and then bails. Like every episode might have a new director.
Anyway,
it's not the same as a movie.
No, I mean it's not great.
Okay. I thought you were gonna have some crazy take that it was really good. I've seen little. I'm not gonna shit on it. I know that it's very poorly watched.
Oh wow.
We have this thing in my job where we call it the Carrot Club. When Nielsen ratings measure percentages of every demographic, like adults 18 to 34, adults 25 to 54, adults 18 to 49, blah, 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 blah. For a long time, pretty much every demographic would be at least a 1.0. At least 1% of that demographic would be watching any given show on broadcast, because broadcast was the only game in town.
Right.
It's gotten to the point where everything is less than 1%. So now it would make sense to have the 100th decimal point, because everything starts with 0 point and then like 0.7, 0.4, whatever. So you think there should be a 100th place. I've advocated for it, but probably not going to happen because that's just the way things have always been done. When something is 0.05, it rounds up to 0.1. When it is 0.049 or lower in any given demographic, it returns an error code of less than, like a double less than sign, which just means it's less than half, or it's less than what? It's less than half of a percent. Yeah. Watch this demographic. Watch this show. And welcome to Flatch. Join the Carrot Club. I think in men 18 to 34. So in your demographic, it joined the Carrot Club, where it had less than half of all men 18 to 34 watching it.
So I watched the first episode and I thought, you know what, this has potential. There's some funny moments, and like it kind of did remind me of Berlin a little bit. And I was like, yeah, like I can see why this would catch on, like with someone like me from a very small town, but it didn't.
Well, hold on, you're still watching.
I mean, I've watched 3 episodes.
That's all 3. You are current, man.
What? No, there's...
Yeah, no, it's come out.
So, okay, that's another thing. You said it's very poorly watched, which I believe. But also, I can't really figure out what their release model is, because 7 episodes are up on Hulu. I believe that's either the first season or, the first half of the first season, and then like there will be
it's still coming out.
Well, I know it's still coming out because those episodes that are on Hulu have their release dates for when they air on Fox, and they're in the future.
Oh yeah, that's right. They did a promotional stunt where they dropped the first 7 episodes as a big batch on Hulu,
and they're also
to try to like get people hooked.
Out of order, and maybe that's just an error on the app. But like episode 3's date is like April 21st or something, and episode 4's date is like March 14th.
So that's what the equivalent of my job does on the digital side. Is like they might be like, we don't like this as a 3rd episode, like let's sub it out, even though that's how it might air on broadcast or how it aired originally, or it's just based on production numbers. Like for example, Community has a lot of that. If you really get into the nitty-gritty, there's actually some details that don't line up because they did air some of the episodes out of order, because some executive was like, nah, this doesn't, we like this episode, we think it's stronger, we need a big audience for this week or whatever. And then looking back on it, you're like, oh wait, there was that one tiny little detail that wouldn't make any, like, why would Troy know about this when that hasn't even happened yet?
Right.
Like that sort of thing. But yeah, no, it's a weird thing to drop 7 episodes of a show on a digital platform, and the show's kind of targeted towards younger audiences potentially, and then being like, whoa, shocker, it didn't have much linear viewing. People didn't watch it live on Fox when all those episodes were available online.
So I'm sorry, I need to ask, what is the show about? Because the only description of any kind I've been able to find is a single sentence: a documentary crew sent to explore life in a small town meet the eccentric residents of Flatch.
Yeah, I mean, it's The Office or Parks and Rec, like that style, where like, you know, there's cutaways where it's like one-on-one kind of things, and then it's like it's filmed like it's a documentary, like that kind of style. But it's a small town called Flatch, and it focuses mostly on like 2 or 3, like I get the impression that they're like recent high school grads, like they're in their very early 20s and they just never left town, and they're all fucking losers. But like, and there are some funny characters, but most of them are like 2 or 3 steps removed from being any sort of believable. Where, like, you know, a funny character that has all these like eccentric features, part of what makes them funny is when like they're grounded enough that makes you go like, oh yeah, that reminds me of a thing. This is a believable situation, but obviously they're taking it farther than it normally would go. None of these people have any sort of like realistic or relatable traits.
Right.
They're all just extremely just ridiculous caricatures of what a human being is. And yeah, that kind of grows old very quickly.
So what? Every episode is just 22 minutes of like not even emotionally resonant towny shit.
Yeah, exactly. So like
it's shitty Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah.
Like, I don't.
Someone said it's what's the Canadian
Trailer Park
No,
Boys.
not that one.
Letterkenny?
Yeah, they said it's like Midwestern Letterkenny.
It's based on a British
Letterkenny.
format.
Yeah.
Letterkenny is very Midwestern. It's based on a British format where there is more of like that intrigue with like villages and how they're very like self-sufficient, like governing bodies that are just full of like these weird eccentricities.
I saw Hot Fuzz.
And,
I know
like,
what's up. Yeah.
Exactly. Like, it's that type of thing. And then they tried to like adapt it to American culture. And yeah, I saw the first episode and definitely didn't hit for me. I don't want to judge it. Like, you know, sure, people worked very hard on it. But
right.
Yeah.
It gave me the impression that this is something that would get better. I don't know why I got the impression like, oh yeah, this has some redeeming qualities, and I think the next couple episodes are going to be better, but I don't know why I thought that, and they weren't.
You saw Shawn Michaels Scott, and you were like, oh, he's a
name.
name.
Oh, look, it's Stifler.
And so did the executives at the network, who were like, that's a name. Pick it up.
Wait, is Shawn Michaels Scott still doing like... I'm sorry, Ryan. I'm saying it's too much for your liking, but like playing like a towny guy in movies. Like I thought
he's like a priest in the show. He's like the father figure of the town.
Fine.
And also still doing. I think he got past those types of roles, and then now is he's had like a bit of a parabola.
No, I get it. Like settled back into the comfortable stuff is reaching like the back half of your career. That's fair. Yeah. Make that money.
I think he peaked and is now, back down to doing TV comedy. Not that there's any shame in that.
No. Steady paycheck. Any redeeming quality whatsoever, Andrew?
I mean, there are some funny moments that make you go like, haha, these are small town people that just don't know any better. It's kind of mean in a way.
Oh,
but yeah, like the third episode starts out with them finding a pair of like extremely rare sneakers that like accidentally ended up in like their small town shoe store. So then they're trying to raise like $100 so they can buy the shoes, and mayhem ensues.
I don't think they're very sympathetic.
No,
like, it's not a. when you look at like Parks and Recreation,
they're lovable weirdos. These people are not lovable.
The town hall meetings are what I'm thinking of
right.
when they dive into like the weird people of Pawnee, like who are like, I'm trying to think of some of the great cutaways.
Like Patton Oswalt doing his like Boba Fett fan fiction in a town meeting.
Yeah. But then they cut to Leslie Knope, who you know is like a hyper competent, like super caring individual who wants what's best for this town and is very good at her job. And it's like, okay, it gives you the full representation. Or Letterkenny has, like Wayne and the gang who are like the level-headed, normal. I guess John William Scott's supposed to be that, but I didn't really get that vibe in the pilot that he was like good at anything. I don't know. So anyway, we talked a lot about that,
right?
For a tight podcast, but fair. I mean, I was shocked that someone our age in our demographic watched that show because Carrot Club.
Yeah.
So
right.
That's Andrew. He's like, Chernobyl, what's that? I'm gonna watch Welcome to Flatch, you fucker.
We only have so much time on this earth. Ryan, what are you checking out?
Not Welcome to Flatch. I'm caught up on Better Call Saul with Angel. We've got the new season on Netflix that just came out today. And we're going to do that and hopefully watch it live. It's going to be fucking awesome. Better Call Saul is peak TV as well. Another show that could be watched instead of Welcome to Flatch. That one's on Netflix. You don't even have the excuse that you don't have HBO. I don't know. Otherwise, just playing GTA, having good times. We recently figured out how to open up the box truck, which is going to lead to a lot of shenanigans of, I don't know, loading in bicycles and flying them all over the fucking joint and getting into a bunch of misadventures. So it's good.
All right.
It's good times.
I'll fire off some quick Elden Ring updates. I'm getting in the home stretch on this one. The end is in sight. I have slain the fire giant and couldn't have done it without my dear companion, Potboy Alexander. I do feel kind of bad about it, though. I think I just, really pounded the last nail in the genocide coffin on this one. Yeah.
Is the fire giant the one where, the floor is on fire and he's shooting fire at you and it's just a clusterfuck?
That is Rykard, Lord of Blasphemy. He was not too bad because they do give you
He was not too bad.
No, they give you they give you his one weakness as you walk into the room, a spear made specifically to kill him, and then that wasn't too bad.
They on TikTok. I saw people complaining about that one because I don't know, they were just screaming like, "This is fun. This is a good thing to do. This is great." It's just like he's shooting fire at you. The entire floor is fire. Mm-hmm. He's a giant being made of fire.
Yep.
It's just like, yes, video games.
Yeah. The Godskin duo ain't shit. A lot of people online saying, hardest fight in the game, so unfair. Only way you can do it is to put one of them asleep, kill the other one, and then try to kill the one you put to sleep before he was able to revive him. Now, I did beat them after FromSoft put out a patch that explicitly made this fight easier and gives you a companion to summon. But you know what? No, there ain't shit. I think the people complaining about this are just bad gamers. Honestly. I reluctantly have given Potboy Alexander a warrior's death.
You introduced the character Potboy Alexander.
2 bullet points later, killed him.
Yeah, killed him immediately without much fanfare.
Souls games always have 1 or 2 characters like this where the world is falling apart, but then they are living their best lives, reveling in it. Potboy Alexander was one of these characters, and this sucked. Thankfully, though, by the mechanics of how these jar people work, he will live on in spirit and maybe literally, because I took a part of his flesh and gave it to Jarbin, super cool little pot dude, calls me cuz, dig him, who's also a warrior jar. So he's going to put a part of Alexander's flesh into his body and then gain his power, I guess.
His name
That's
is
how that
Jarbin.
Works. Yeah.
And he's a jar.
He lives in Jarburg.
And he lives in a container.
No, he is a container.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jar bin.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Lives in a container. Or is a container himself. Ah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a jar. I'm a bin.
Cool.
I'm jar bin.
Cool dude.
And I'm a pot boy.
Yeah.
And I put other people's flesh into my body and absorb their
I'm guessing
power.
his name is not really Pot Boy.
No, it's Iron Fist Alexander, but
Okay.
he's Pot Boy. Come on. He's a homie.
Yeah. What does he do? Does he commit genocide? Iron Fist?
No, he's just out there living his best life, fighting people as a warrior, a little bit of a Don Quixote thing. Took part in the Radon Festival. Kind of got fucked up because of that, but then afterwards he stuffed a part of General Radon into his body. Then he got strong enough to help me fight the fire giant.
So these people just put body parts in their jar bodies. I imagine someone dropping something into a trash can.
Yeah.
And that just, they get that? That becomes them?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, like they have a lid. They take that off. They put flesh into their body. And then they gain the power and maybe soul of the people who they stuff in there.
Was it a story? Was there a story reason that you put him down, or did you just feel like...
No, he was at the end of his rope, man. He was not doing great. He was literally falling apart. The jar that is his body was cracked.
Like, was that a story thing,
Yeah.
though? Like, it was prompted by story things?
Yes,
Okay.
correct. He asked for this. He wanted to go out how he lived. And I gave that to him.
What if you don't?
You can do that too. Like that's an option.
Does he continue to live all fucked up and sad?
No, he's just dead. You can't help him anymore.
Literally just die.
Yeah, you murder him.
That would be kind of fun. just let him live in his terrible
I showed
state.
you where the heart is. Where are you going? Kill me.
Yeah. I beat Malekith, the Black Blade, because he's a punk ass who can't even take a laser beam to the face for a couple of seconds. And then I beat Mog, the Lord of Blood, who is definitely a rapist, maybe a pedophile, and probably a necrophile. This dude just sucks. Yeah.
There you go.
He was also one, he's like not as hard of a super boss as Malenia, the undefeated swordswoman, but also, beat him in like 5 tries because he too can't take a laser beam to the face.
I'm sensing a trend here.
Yeah, it was just slowly lumbering up towards me, and I'm like, Kamehame Kamikamelia, blasting him for a couple of seconds, and then, wasted. Got a little sketchy. He survived the first attack. But then I had summoned a Mimic before that fight. And then my Mimic, my clone, gave him a laser blast in the face, and that gave me enough time to heal and then finish him off. Really fucked up design, though. Really, he looks like he should be a Bloodborne character or like a Demon Souls character. Because he's just a demon. He's just a demon in a world full of people, and there's lore explanation for why he looks the way he does, and I'm still uncomfortable by it. Hopefully should have this game finished by the next podcast, and can't wait to give my full review of it. Andrew, how is Horizon?
I'm not going to talk about Horizon. I will save that for next week because I know we are just about out of time. The only thing that I will say is I have gotten to a couple of points in the game that I imagine Bloodborne characters or Elden Ring players feel like when they play the game.
Yeah!
Because I have struggled.
Fuck yeah, dude. All right.
You're a real gamer now. You hate what you're doing.
Yeah.
This game is so tough. I had to use a notebook briefly. What is this? All right. Thank you all so much for tuning in to episode 178 of the Voluntary Viewing Podcast, which will... I don't know. I'll figure out. We'll figure out which title we want to go with in post. If you like what you heard, like, comment, subscribe, etc. Check us out on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok for highlight clips. ActBlue link in the description if you want to help some great progressive causes. support us either through the Anchor Podcast platform or on Patreon, so you can join the likes of the terrific Tiffany Cole, Sucky Badger, and sensual Richard Nixon. Follow us on Twitter for updates at V2_podcast. Send us your questions and business opportunities, voluntaryviewing@gmail.com, and follow me at Lucas DeRuyter on Twitter to keep up with all of my writing. Best of luck with the week, everyone. Spring is coming up. Hope you make the most of it. Goodbye.